So you're thinking of moving to Summerlin in Las Vegas, Nevada? In this video, we're going to jump into Google Maps and I am going to show you everything you need to know about moving to Summerlin. I'm going to show you where things are, how close everything is, how to get around the city. You know what? Like I said, everything you want to know. And we're going to get into it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about moving to Summerlin in Las Vegas, then go ahead and subscribe, tap the notification bell so you'll be the first in the know when things happen here in Las Vegas and Summerlin. Hey, my name's Anthony, and me and my team get calls every day from people just like you who are looking to move to Summerlin and make it their home. And I absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, go ahead and shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, or even schedule a Zoom call below. And we'd be more than happy to help you make a smooth move here to Summerlin. So today, we are going to go and jump into the maps, the Google Maps, and we're going to show you everything you need to know about Summerlin. We're going to show you where to drive around, where the shops are located, where the different landmarks are, so you'll know exactly where things are in situation to Summerlin and how to get there. So let's go ahead and jump into the maps here. We're going to jump into my computer, so let's go right now. All right, so we're on my computer and we're in the Google Maps here. So I'm going to show you everything you need to know about living in Summerlin, how to get around, what's available, and just give you a big overview of what's happening here. First thing I want you to notice is that Las Vegas, the whole Las Vegas area, is actually a really geographically small area. In fact, if we check this out, look, from the top to the north to the south, it's less than 30 miles tall or long. And then if you jump from the west to the east, even if you go to the edge of Henderson, you're only at 24 miles. Like I said, really geographically a small area, which makes everything convenient and the ability to get around. Now you might be asking, like, okay, there's all this area all around here. Why are we so dense here? Well, this is all Bureau of Land Management controlled property here. So there is no real development available on there until and when the BLM goes ahead and gives up more property as the city expands. And you know what? At some point in time, it will have to, because Vegas is just a hot market and a hot place to live, figuratively and metaphorically speaking here. But that being said, we pack a lot into a dense and small area. But like I said, it makes it really easy to get around. Everything you need is close by. So let's talk about the freeway system here, okay? Because that's one thing that you're going to have to learn real quick. So there's a couple freeways that you need to know. The first is this 215. If we go on the 215 takes you from Henderson all the way around the city. It's a big square basically around the city, and you can get around everywhere that way. You wouldn't really go out that way unless you had a reason to be over here towards the Air Force Base or going on your way to Utah up here. The other major freeway here is obviously the 15, and if you're coming from California, you know the 15 well. You come in this way, there's the strip, and it keeps on going and keeps on going all the way up into Utah. Whoa. Went a little bit crazy there. That's all right. So the 15, let me tell you two other things first. The other big freeway you need to know is the 95, which cuts through right here and drops you down onto the 95 515 interchange into Henderson. So those are the areas that you need to know. Now, when you live in Summerlin, you don't have to go all the way up the 215 and all the way around to get over here to Henderson and that side of town, the east side of town. They created the Summerlin Parkway, which takes you, it cuts through right here in the middle so you can jump on to the 95 this way. It's the most convenient way of getting to the areas that you need to on the east side of town. I wouldn't go all the way around over here unless I needed to go up into this corner. I would jump on the Summerlin Parkway, jump down here, and go to the as it transitions to the 95 and down over here, because there are a lot of things to do both in Summerlin and on the east side in the Henderson area. Now remember, the city of Las Vegas in particular is a tiny little place. The city of Las Vegas is literally by Fremont Street, and if you've been down in that area over there, it's right up here. Everything else is unincorporated parts of Las Vegas. So we have a lot of suburbs over here. The Strip is right here. You see, I have it outlined here. Okay. It's bordered by the 15. Now, when you move to Summerlin or you move to Vegas, here's one tip that you're going to want to know. Your job, and make this a game, is never to get on the 15 from the 215 all the way up to the 95. This is where all the big traffic in the city is. You don't want to be there if you can help it. Obviously, there are times that you are, but this is where any congestion and all congestion pretty much happens. Your game is not to go on the 15. That being said, we are laid out like a grid for the most part. So once you learn the big streets, it's very easy to find your way around. Once you learn the 215, you'll find it easy to get around. The 95 is the other big one you need to know. And then the Summerlin Parkway, which connects you from the 215 to the 95. Once you got those down, you can cruise across this city in 25 minutes, under a half hour. Like I said, it's not that far apart. You've only got 25 to 30 miles. And our traffic is not bad except for rush hour. Now, one more thing I want you to know, if you can avoid it at all costs, is right here. This is called the Spaghetti Bowl. And this is where the 515, the 15, and the 95 all meet up. And they call it the Spaghetti Bowl because it is the biggest bottleneck in the city. You can spend a few minutes sitting in traffic here, but it's not too bad. Look, I've lived in LA, I've lived in New York, I've lived in Boston. The traffic here is like a Sunday every day, even in rush hour. So I wouldn't fret too much about all that. So let's go jump in and figure out where we are here in Summerlin. Now, Summerlin, let's talk about that. So Summerlin is from here. You see our location over here. I've outlined it. It takes up a huge portion of the city. It's almost a third of the city, of the western part of the city. So it does make a big geographical area. Now, you'll see over here, this is all future growth for Summerlin. So Summerlin still has a lot of growth that's happening. Like I said, we're only 2/3 of the way built after 30 years of a master plan community. Remember that we won the #1 master plan community in just 2020, even though this community has been around since 1989. So they're doing something right, and it's a reason why everybody wants to move here. Like I said, it has that California-y vibe. It's just a great place to live, a great place to call home and your home base of operations. It doesn't matter if you work down here. There's an easy way of getting using the side streets to get everywhere you need to get. You'll learn the few big side streets. There's Spring Mountain, Charleston, Flamingo, and Tropicana. Those are some of the big ones that cross the city east to west and can get you from one side to the other fairly easily. Let's roll in here and show you where everything is in particular based on Summerlin. Now, we're going to use as our center point here downtown Summerlin, which is right here. You see Red Rock Casino. all of this downtown Summerlin complex. It's got everything you need, and we have videos on that, and you should watch those vlog videos on Summerlin because they're going to drive you through downtown Summerlin, show you Las Vegas ballpark, show you the Knights training facility, show you the shops and restaurants within downtown Summerlin. It's a fantastic place to call your base of operations. But that's where we're gonna drop this pin here and use that as, okay, how do we get around and what's available from there? So let's start with the airport. Now, most people know we have it's now called the Harry Reid Airport, the Harry Reid International Airport, and that just happened a couple months ago. This is used to be called McCarran, and you probably still know it as McCarran. Most everybody does. So let's figure out how do we get there from downtown Summerlin. So what I would do is real simple. I would jump on here from downtown Summerlin, just take the 215 all the way around here, and you stay on the 215, and boom, there's an exit right there for the airport. It's a simple 15 to 20 minute drive from downtown Summerlin. It couldn't be any easier to get to the airport. I Uber home the other day from the airport, and I live close to this area, and it was a $30 Uber ride. So like I said, it's not bad at all. And then if we come over here, we're going to look and we're going to say, okay, how do we get to the strip? Obviously, this is the strip, right? And how do we get there? First of all, when you live here, the question is, why are you going to the strip? And for the most part, once you've lived here for a while, look, as a tourist, we come, and this is the only 3 miles of Las Vegas that we know. Obviously, it's a lot bigger than that. But that being said, if you live in Summerlin and you want to go to the strip and take your friends to the strip and take your guests to the strip, or go spend a weekend out there and just enjoy what the strip has to offer, super easy to get there. Any of those big streets that I talked about. Here's Charleston. Here is, let's see, this is Tropicana. This is Flamingo. And this is Spring Mountain. Actually, no, that's not Spring Mountain. This is Spring Mountain. Those will all take you to the strip. Literally a 10-minute ride from the strip. Super easy to get to. Or if you're living up a little bit farther in the more northern part of Summerlin, you can take the Summerlin Parkway, come over here to the 95 and jump onto the 15. So there's a transition onto the 15, and you can get off at the hotels right there. There's a couple back streets here that you're going to learn. There's one that's called Koval and one that's called Paradise. If you don't want to drive on the strip itself, you can take those back streets or Dean Martin on this side, and you can eliminate getting all that strip traffic if you just want to go to the hotel without seeing the sights of the strip. Like I said, very easy. Lots of tips and tricks here for you when you move here. When you move here, it's different than being a tourist. And when you're a tourist, you want to go and see all those things. That's what you're here for, is you're here to see all those awesome things. When you move here, it's more utility. I'm trying to get to a location to do something. There's something at the Forum shops at Caesars or the shops at the Venetian that I need to go and get. No problem. There is an easier way than getting on the strip itself to get here. You'll learn this over time and through some trial and error. But like I said, because we're built out as primarily a grid, it's very simple to get around once you know what you're doing. All right, so let's talk about the sports venues, because that is one thing that has become super important here in Las Vegas. We have the Golden Knights, the Vegas Golden Knights. We have, which is our hockey team. We have the Raiders, which built their multi-billion-dollar Allegiant Stadium, which is amazing. And I'll show you where that is in comparison to Summerlin. But it's all very easily accessible and all very close. So let's check that out. There's also the Las Vegas ballpark and the Thomas and Mack Center, which was the OG when UNLV Rebels were a really hot team. The Thomas and Mack was the place to be. It's a little bit older of a venue. We have newer venues now, but they still do a ton of things there. So you need to know where that is. So let's talk about this. Here's our base of operations, right? Obviously, the easiest one to get to is right here, and that is the Las Vegas ballpark. Super simple. You literally park here and walk. One of the cool things that they brought to Vegas in 2021 was Enchant Christmas Las Vegas. And it is if you have younger kids or you just love Christmas, this is the most fantastic thing that I took my daughter to, and she absolutely loved it. The number of lights, they transformed the entire ballpark into this Christmas wonderland. It was well worth the money, well worth the time. I would suggest it to everybody coming here and go take a look at that. So, like I said, getting to Las Vegas ballpark, very simple. All right, so now from there, let's talk about how we get to our next big place, and that is, let's go to T-Mobile Arena. Now, T-Mobile Arena, this is where the Las Vegas Golden Knights play, and this is where they play the regular season game. Also, a ton of concerts, festivals, music. There's everything you could want there. It is an arena, and anything that you would do at a normal arena, they do here. So coming from our area here, it's real simple to get there. You would just come down. I would come down probably Spring Mountain and come all the way to Dean Martin, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, you are right here without ever going on the strip. That's the cool part. You can get to the arena without ever getting on the strip. And right over here, let's take a look, is the Thomas and Mack Center. Now, the Thomas and Mack Center, you got to go a little bit across the city, but it's not a big deal. You'd probably come up and take Tropicana from Summerlin, and you'd move yourself right to Tropicana, take it all the way down to Paradise, and you're right there. Again, super, super easy to get there. Everything literally is easy to get to, not very congested. Don't let the traffic on the strip fool you. Once you get outside of the strip, everything is super easy to get around and get to. Finally, let's go to our Raiders, and that is at Allegiant, and let's find, there are we? Right here, and it's going to be the same deal. It's at the south end of the strip, so towards the beginning of the strip. But once again, you don't have to get on the strip. You don't have to take the 15 in order to get there. You can take side streets. You can take the 215, and you can get right there without ever having to get on the strip and get involved in all that traffic. So you're right here. Now, one thing I will tell you, the Allegiant Stadium and why they put it on the strip. There are 65,000 seats at Allegiant Stadium, and they have everything from concerts. In fact, Metallica's coming there. They have the Rolling Stones just played there. There is everything that you could ever want in a stadium right there. But 65,000 seats. Funny enough, there's only 6,500 parking spaces. So what that tells you is the casinos on the strip here wanted everything right here because they want to draw the tourists into here to come and see the games, which they're doing. So they figured that you're going to use an Uber, you're going to use the hotel transportation and whatnot to get there. And you know what? It works. Even driving your car, the 6,500 spots, not that big of a deal because they were right. Most people are coming in from out of town and don't have cars and are going to take alternative transportation there. So the 6,500 spaces are primarily locals coming to the event. There's also you can park at any of the hotels, any of the surrounding areas. There are other parking lots, but the official parking spaces, there's only 6,500. All right, let's move on from there. And let's talk about where the malls are because, the malls are super important. So let's come back out here and we'll see. Here we are in downtown Summerlin. Now, obviously, this one's super simple. We're starting at downtown Summerlin. Downtown Summerlin is the mall out here for locals, for going and doing your basic mall shopping. Now, downtown Summerlin is an outdoor mall. So during the summer, it does get warm, but you know what? There's a ton of people there in summer and everybody loves it. It's just a great place to be. They have all the shops and restaurants that you could ever look for. Let's just take a look here. I mean, you have the mall proper, which is here. There's a Regal luxury fiveplex there, in addition to a 16 theater Regal here. Over here, there's a luxury version of the Regal theaters, and that's all recliners, a bar, all of those things. But you also have everything you could ask for. There's a Lazy Dog, a Shake Shack, there's an Apple Store, a Dave & Buster's, Dillard's, a Nordstrom Rack, a Trader Joe's. What else do we got? A Dillard's, a Macy's, Maggiano's, CPK. There is so much to do here that this could be the only mall that you pretty much ever go to. That being said, let's look at where there are other malls in the area that you might go to. So there's over here, this is, we have two outlet shops. One is at the base of Charleston and Las Vegas Boulevard, so the Strip, and that is it's one of our first premium outlet malls. Got all the big names that you can think of there. Again, it's an outdoor mall as well, but there's a second one, and that's the Las Vegas South Premium Outlets, and this is right next to the airport. So here's the airport, and here is the Las Vegas Premium Outlets. This also is on the Strip, Las Vegas Boulevard, but it's at the south end of the Strip. So you have one at the north and one at the south. Makes it super easy, and they're fantastic. This one is an indoor mall, and then they also have a ton of restaurants on the mall ring. So anything that you could look for, they have in both of these outlet malls. Now, let's go back and take a look here. Here is the fashion show. Now, remember, we're here. We're over here. And here's the fashion show. The street that you want to remember to get to the fashion show is Spring Mountain. So you're just going to navigate your way down these side streets going north-south, and you're going to make it to Spring Mountain, make a left, and you're going to shoot all the way to the fashion show. Now, the fashion show is on the Strip, 100% on the Strip. So it's a more touristy mall. But that being said, it has everything you want. It is an indoor mall. It is one of the most fantastic malls that we have, and they continue to bring in new retailers. There's even a Dick's Sporting Goods there. There's a Neiman Marcus, a Saks, a Nordstrom. We have everything that you want. Louis Vuitton, and there's a Tiffany there. There is literally everything that you could want. Decent food court, lots of restaurants overlooking the Strip. The only thing is, just know that on the weekends it does get a little bit crowded with tourists, but that's not a big deal. Even then, it's a totally navigable mall, and one that I shop at all the time. Then you have right here you have the Boulevard Mall. Now, the Boulevard Mall it's not truly a mall anymore. There's some shops there, but it was at one point in time in the early to mid 90s. It was one of the premier malls in the area. There was a downturn. The mall had financial problems. Somebody came in and bought it and redeveloped it. What's there now are more entertainment related opportunities. There's an aquarium there. That's fantastic. There's a couple of really nice things. So I would check that out as well. Now, if you want the other big mall, and this is it's under 1 million square feet, but a huge mall. This is what you think of as your prototypical mall. Think of it as the fashion show, but for the suburbs, okay? This is called the Galleria Mall, okay? And this is the Galleria at Sunset, and it is actually in Henderson. So how would you get there from downtown Summerlin? It looks like you can go one of two ways. You can either come up to Summerlin Parkway and come around, hit the 95, get on the 515, and right here there's a Sunset exit, and that's where you would get off. The other way, and probably the better way of doing it, is coming off of the 215 and going this way to the south, following the 215 around, and getting off at a street called Stephanie. And you take Stephanie all the way up to the mall. Either way, it's about, from downtown Summerlin, that's probably your longest distance away, probably somewhere about a half-hour drive. But that being said, if you want an indoor mall and that traditional indoor mall feel, it's a fantastic place to go. It is not on the strip like fashion show, so it's there's not as many people. There's also they're not going to have the Louis Vuitton, they're not going to have the Tiffany or Gucci stores there, but what they do have is all the traditional stores that you would see at a mall, plus they have a really good food court, just a really good place to spend an afternoon going and doing some shopping. Actually, it's one of my favorite places to go just kick around. After that, let's go into Summerlin and take a little quicker look and see where some of the other things are. Now remember, Summerlin, there are 250 plus village and neighborhood parks, including some huge ones with community centers and water slides and all of those types of recreation, lots of baseball fields, soccer fields, big green spaces here. We are also home in Summerlin to 10 and maybe another one coming soon golf courses, including the only 2 TPC courses in all of Nevada. Obviously, there's this one here. So it is a golfer's dream to be in this area. It's just a fantastic place to be. Here, now remember, we were over here before. This is downtown Summerlin, right here. Okay, there's Red Rock. Right across the street from Red Rock is your Costco. So you can't get more centrally located than that. Fantastic Costco. There's also a Lowe's in that parking lot, a Best Buy, all of the big box stores. I think there's a Ross or a TJ Maxx there. Everything that you could be looking for is right there. Other than that, there's also, let's take a look. Let's search for something. Let's see if we just look at this area. I'm going to show you. This is one thing that everybody really wants to know about, is where is In-N-Out. So let's see how many In-N-Outs there are. There are a lot of In-N-Outs here. Your closest one is right here on Sahara and Wallapai. So it's not Hualapai or Hulapai, it's Wallapai. Hualapai. Pai. I know it's a Native American name, and one that we use. It's a big street here going north-south. It takes you all the way across from the top to the bottom. But that is where your closest in and out is, right here in the middle. If you're up in the northern part of Summerlin, here's one right here, and that is on Lake Mead. You have a Whole Foods Market up here, a Barnes & Noble, a Best Buy. There's a huge shopping area in this area to service the north part of Summerlin. So whether you're in the north, the middle, or the south, there is exactly what you're looking for. So like we said here, this is the in and out in the middle part of Summerlin. And then if you come down to Summerlin South, there's right here on Tropicana and Fort Apache, which is super close to the Summerlin border, is your other in and out. So you got in and out covered. You're all good to go. Let's check out where our Starbucks are. Now, you got to remember, Summerlin is more of community development than it is retail development. They have retail areas like the downtown Summerlin area, but a lot of your miscellaneous is going to be right outside where it's not master planned, where everything is so tightly regulated and controlled. So you're going to find a lot of your other opportunities for shopping outside of here. While you do find, there's a couple neighborhood grocery stores, there's a couple Smiths, a couple Albertsons. For the most part, you're going to right along this border from Wallapai to Fort Apache. That's where you're going to find a lot of your shopping. Now, if we come here, let's just take a look and look at Starbucks. So you see there's a lot of Starbucks right here in the middle and a lot right here in the south. There are some up here, so there are a couple up here that I know of. I don't know why they're not showing, but there are some up here. The other thing I was going to tell you is your targets. There's 3 targets. Again, there's one hitting the north, there's one hitting the middle, and there's one hitting the south. So let's take a look. So here's your one for the south, and that is going to be right on Grand Canyon and Flamingo. There's that Wallapai. See, it covers right there. Your other one here is at Boca Park, and this is on Rampart, which Fort Apache turns into Rampart. You'll learn that. It's right here. Now, there's also a cheesecake factory here, another bunch of good restaurants, just a fantastic place to go. Now, if you're going up a little bit north, here's your target up here, and it's a little bit farther, but it's on Cheyenne and Tenaya. You'll find it right here. But like I said, you've got targets within minutes of you, no matter where you are. All in all, Summerlin and Las Vegas in general has all of the things that you're looking for. And it's just a fantastic place to live. Shopping is easy. Getting around is easy. You don't have that same congestion you do. I lived in the Valley. I've lived in Beverly Hills. I lived in Orange County. It's different. It's a big but little city at the same time. Love for you to come out and take a look and look. This is, I take people every day. I get phone calls, emails, and texts from people every day who are looking to make a move here from either California, New York, Florida, Illinois, even Texas, and want to come and make Vegas their home because it just offers everything you want. And if you're looking for Vegas or Summerlin in particular, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and I'll get you, make it a smooth move here to the area. Make sure you're well situated, know everything about it. Otherwise, let's take a look around. I'll show you a little footage from some of the areas in Summerlin, and then I'll look for you on the next video where we're going to investigate even a little bit more here. All right, talk to you soon.